here, your own personal fitness trainer, and today I thought this would be a great video because you need the stats and you need the prime information that I can give you as a personal fitness trainer as far as injury prevention and doing the proper exercises correctly so you can get fitness results and prevent injury at the same time. And it might be several things that you're not aware of. Because before I was a fitness trainer, back when I was just a workout person, there were things I wasn't aware of. But I got it now, so I'm going to share that information with you. And remember, it's to make you better, your exercises more effective, and prevent injury. So, in a moment, I'm going to share all that with you. Okay, so I have with me my little pink book. And you might have a black book, but mine's pink. And this is my personal training notebook that I have different things so I remember to share with my clients when we're here in the training studio. So I'm going to be referring to it. So the first thing I'm going to start with is I'm going to tell you about at the gym the leg extension machine. And while you might think that it is good and it might be good to develop the muscle, that's that seated machine and you're kicking out with the leg extension. But what the physiologist found is what it does is it puts more stress on your knees. And the reason for that is because the resistance is down here at your ankles, and that leads to higher amounts of torque that are applied to your knees. So, if you're lifting heavier loads, guys or girls, with that machine, and if you wonder why your knees hurt, that's why. Or for anyone who already has any knee problems, you don't want to do that machine. And that's why where it comes in is doing squats, lunges, and those other exercises that I show you with the free weights. Don't do that like that machine does. Those are more natural movements. Okay, next one. I'm going to refer to my book here. And okay here, so upright rows. So if you're still doing upright rows, you better look out. And upright rows, for those of you who don't know, that's when they're for your shoulders or your traps, and you're holding the weight here, and you're pulling it up like this. Now I have to be honest, back in the day, when I was working out, I loved upright rows. I love doing those. I mean, they can be a nice shoulder builder. However, here's what can happen with upright rows, and I don't do them anymore, is says it turns out that about 2/3 of men are at high risk for shoulder impingement when they're performing the upright row. And the reason is it can cause a painful condition in which the muscles or tendons of your rotator cuff, they become entrapped. And it says it occurs when your upper arms are simultaneously at shoulder level and rotated inward. And it says the exact position that you're in when you're doing that. So, if you want to still go ahead and do those, that's up to you. But just so you know, that's what can occur. And there's a ton of other great shoulder exercises for guys or anyone that's having a shoulder issue. Don't want to do that. You might not have known that. All right, the next one is, okay, so if you rock back and forth when you're doing bicep curls, because sometimes people or guys want to lift heavier loads. Here's what it says here. It says it's known better as the cheating. And it says while this approach can allow the lifter to lift heavier weights, it doesn't benefit your biceps. That's what it says. They did a study at Colorado State University. I'm not going to get into all that stuff, but they found that what you're doing when you're doing that is you're simply transferring more of the workload to your shoulder. And then it says, if you're wildly swinging them all the more, you can damage the muscles, joints, and ligaments of your back. So it says, stick to strict form. I know that. I'm big into having good form. Whenever I'm showing you workouts, you might not like some of the detail, but you want to know how to do it properly, don't you? You want to get your fitness results, don't you? You have to have proper form. So that's why I'm a little bit more of a stickler for that, because it matters. So I'm still trying to cut my stuff down, but I have to tell you somewhat, you need to know how to do it properly. All right, on to the next one. So now, then they have a machine at the gym. It's called the leg press. By the way, I used to love doing that one way back in the past till I learned this. Okay, the leg press, you're down in down position, you're pressing your legs up. So here's what that does. It can affect the articular cartilage of your hip. And what it does, it says that loaded flexion and extension of the femur, your femur bone in your thigh, are more suited for the joint when you're in a standing position, such as squats, lunges, dumbbell split squats, reverse lunges, all those exercises, rather than the leg press. So what they're saying here is, do those on a regular basis. Eventually, you are going to wear away the cartilage of your hips. Then you're going to wonder why you have hip problems. So your legs might look good, but you're going to have hip issues. So that one is very important. I want you to know that. Then you can use your own judgment and do what you feel. All right, over here. And there's always good news with some of this stuff too, All right, so your back and working your lats. So, your lats are right along here, that muscle, okay? They have a machine at the gym. It's called the lat pull down. It's on the cable, and it's a wide bar, and you're pulling it down. Typically, it should be pulled. No, it should be pulled right in front. Here, pulling it down right in front. But there are some people that do behind the neck pull downs. They pull it down behind their neck. And here's what that is going to do. That is bad. All right? When you lower it behind your neck, the exercise excessively flexes the cervical spine and loads the shoulders at the extreme of external rotation. Bad news. Don't do that. You don't need to do it that way in order to get the results. Pull it down in front of your face. So, anyway, I have more information coming. Okay, just have a couple more. So, you're back again. And this is when you would be doing upright rows. And it says you round your lower back when you're doing an upright row. And I'm real big on that, always talking about keeping your back more flat there. You just want the natural arch. You don't want to round your back at all when you're doing those upright rows, because here's what will happen. You can get an injury such as a herniated disc. You don't want that. Okay, so then, then I'm going to jump to this. So, it's a big muscle mistake if you're not doing or not using total body movements to define your muscles. That's those combo movements, total body movements. And I have a lot of those in my videos. Now, while you want to do isolated movements, that's good. But they're saying here that, here's what they say. They say, as far as a muscle, whether the muscle is visible or not, depends on the fat that you have on your body covering it. So, it says, total body movements burns more calories than isolation exercises. They're more valuable in defining your arms. So, now I'm not saying don't do isolated exercises. I do. But what I'm saying is, if you're not seeing your muscles defined because you have more on you and you want to see that, besides your isolated movements, you want to do total body movements because it's going to burn more fat off you to show and expose your thighs and your thighs and your shoulders and your abs. So that's how that works. All right, over here it says you work your chest harder than your back. And that leads to muscle and joint imbalances because it will result in poor posture and increased risk of injury. So the point is, and to all of them, is you want to work your full body. So if you're only choosing, I'm going to just work my chest and my thighs, but I'm not working my back and I'm not working my legs, you want to do the whole body because you're going to throw your body out of whack. You're going to be out of balance. So in them talking about dealing with the chest, working the chest hard, but not your back, it results in poor posture and an increased risk of injury because of joint imbalances. But that applies to everything on our body. All right, next one. You still use the fly machine or the pec deck. And that's the other one at the gym. For people who don't know, you're in a machine and you're holding the plates and you're pulling it in like that. I don't do that one. I rarely do that one. And I'll say this, if I do it, I have it at the first hold. I don't have it back beyond like I used to, because I'll tell you what they're saying about that. You know how you put it in the hole and you're pulled back like that and then you're squeezing in? That is not good. And ever since I knew this, I don't do that. So it says you still use the fly machine. And it says it can overstretch the front of your shoulder and cause the muscles around your rear shoulder to stiffen. And again, it's called shoulder impingement syndrome. That's that same one that you can get from the upright rows. They say skip it. Why? There's a million of chest exercises that are great. There's tons of them. I have tons. I've only just begun to show you on my videos. There's tons. You don't need to do the fly machine. So, again, use your discretion on this. All right. And lastly, two last things. Okay, you work your hamstrings. You work your quads more than your hamstrings. Same thing. And I said that in one of my videos. It throws your body off balance. Here's what it says. They did like statistics on it, and they found that 70% of the athletes who had recurrent hamstring injuries was because they worked their quads more than their hamstrings. So they had muscle imbalances between the quads and the hamstrings. So there you are. That's strong medicine. You don't want to have a problem? Work both equally, and that includes hamstrings and your glutes. Okay, I'm finished here. I have a positive thing you're gonna like when it comes to bench pressing. Here's what they found. This is good. They found when you bench press, it's either bench pressing or it's squats. It said that you can prevent glaucoma because it has something to do with the pressure it puts on your optic nerve. And they found in a study that when you do bench pressing or the squatting, you're less likely to get glaucoma. So I thought that was cool. So, to all you bench pressers and all you squatters, that's something very positive about that. But remember, don't overdo it. Like me, I've had my overdue moments, trust me on that one. I was like, I need more balance, not overdoing. So us workout people all have to work on that one. So anyway, I have some quotes for you. Okay, so I have my quote sheet here. I'm going to give you 2 Mark Twain quotes. He said these. So the first one is, a man cannot be comfortable without his own approval. That makes sense to me. And we've all heard this one before. You might not have heard the last part though. Mark Twain said this. He said, age is an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Oh, I'm gonna take that one. It doesn't matter. So, until next time, ta-ta!